Okay, hello everyone. So today we'll be learning about special products. So this topic is just a recap because you already encountered it way back in your grade 7 time. So this special product was a topic in your quarter 2 module 6, if you can still remember. But this time we'll have a review what is special products because this topic is very helpful, especially when we're going to learn your module 1, lesson 1 and 2, the preceding topics. So the special products will be tackled again. So we will review what is special products. So in special products, we have to remember these 5 terms. First, we have the square of a binomial. Second, product of sum and difference of 2 terms. Third, product of 2 binomials. Fourth, we have cube of a binomial. And fifth, product of a trinomial and a binomial. Now let's have square of a binomial. So let's recap what is binomial. So when we talk about binomial, from its root word bi, meaning two. So a binomial is an expression composed of 2 terms. We have here a as our first term and b as our second term. And it is separated by an operation addition, or it can be subtraction. So binomial is an expression having 2 terms. So now if we have a square of binomial, we're just going to add an exponent of 2 because square is 2. So a plus b raised to the power of 2, or quantity of a plus b squared. So now how are we going to expand this square of binomial? So its expanded form, if we have a binomial or square of binomial a plus b is equal to, or a plus b squared is equal to a plus b multiplied by quantity of a plus b. And if we have an example of a minus b squared is equal to a minus b multiplied by the quantity of a minus b. So this is how we're going to expand a square of binomial. Now we have the expanded form of our square of binomial. So we have the quantity of a plus b squared is equal to the quantity of a plus b multiplied by the quantity of a plus b. Now how are we going to solve the square of binomial? So we're just going to use the FOIL method. So F, we have first term. So F stands for first term. O stands for outer terms, and I stand for inner terms, and L stands for last term. So if you can still remember, we will use FOIL method in solving our square of binomial, or a product of a square of a binomial. So now, if we have to apply the FOIL method, so we will going to multiply the first term, which is a, and b. So a multiplied by a, so we have here a multiplied by a, plus, what's the next step? The outer terms. So our outer terms are a and b. As you can see, we have here the outer term for the first binomial and the outer term for our second binomial. So next is we have to multiply a plus b for our outer term. And now for the inner term, unsa man ang mga term nga naa sa sulod. So we have b and a. That's why we multiplied b and a. And for our last term, which are b and the b, because they are the last term for our first binomial and our second binomial. So we have to multiply b and b. So again, first term, we have the term a and a. For the outer term, we have a and b. For the inner term, we have b and a also. And for our last term, we have B and B. So now we're going to operate the, the given now. So we have A multiplied by A. So we have A squared plus A multiplied by B. We have AB plus B multiplied by A. We have BA, or it can be AB also, plus B multiplied by B equals B squared. So, bakit naging squared? As you can still remember, itong A plus A multiplied by A, may exponent yan na 1, pero we will not put it there. So, it is automatically 1 plus 1 as an exponent. So, nagiging 2 siya. So, A multiplied by A squared, because ruling natin sa exponent kapag multiplication, we will just add the exponent. Kaya naging 2. Kasi ang A may 1, si A naman dito may 1. So using the rule of exponent in multiplication, so we'll just use the addition. That's why we add 1 plus 1 is equal to 2. Same here sa ating B. That's why naging B squared siya. So now, if we'll use this one, as you can see, my common terms or like terms. So, ano yung like terms? We have here AB and BA. Kasi kung baliktaran sa BA, pwede din siyang AB. That's why we will combine this one. So, using addition, of combining two terms or similar terms, combining similar terms, we will just use the addition. So AB plus BA is equal to 2AB. So we'll copy A squared plus 2AB plus B squared. So this is how we solve the square of binomial using FOIL method. But we can also solve the square of a binomial in just 3 steps. So when we use this step, we can solve the square of binomial mentally. Mas easier ni siya kaysa sa atong FOIL method, because FOIL method, medyo taas iyang step. But in this way, we'll just remember these 3 steps. First, square the first term of the binomial. Second, multiply the product of the two terms by 2. And third, square the second term of the binomial. So for example, we have this given quantity of A plus B squared. So first step, this is our first term and our second term. So if we're going to apply the first step, square the first term of the binomial. So our first term is A, so we have to square this one. So what will happen? So now our solution, so square the first term of the binomial, so it becomes A squared. Now, multiply the product of the two terms by 2. So we have here two terms. We have A plus B. So product daw nila, so A multiplied by B by 2. So product ni A plus, ay ni A times B, and i-multiply siya sa 2. And now, for the third step, we have to square the second term. Our second term is letter B, or the variable B. So now, if we're going to square this one, it becomes B squared. So now, square the first term of our binomial. That's why it becomes A squared. Now, multiply the product of the two terms by 2. So we have the term A times B, product daw nila, i-multiply sa 2. And for the third step, we have B squared. So it becomes A squared plus 2AB plus B squared. So as you can see, it is the same as we have our FOIL method. I'm so sorry, natabunan siya. So in FOIL method, medyo mahaba siya, unlike for this step. So always remember na pwede lang natin siya applyan aning na step. First, we have to square the first term, the product of our two terms multiplied by 2, and we have to square the second term. So the result is the same, which is easier, the FOIL method or the third three-step way of solving square of binomial. So let's have another example. So we have here example number 1. So we have the quantity of x plus 3 to the power of 2. So if we're going to follow these steps, we have square of the first term of the binomial. And the second step, multiply the product of two terms by 2 and square the second term of the binomial. So x is our first term and 3 is our second term. Now, solution, first step, square the first term. So we have x squared. Now, multiply the product of our two terms by 2. So we have 3x multiplied by 2. And now we have to square the last term or our second term. So in simplifying this one, we have x squared plus 6x plus 9. Bakit naging 9? Because 3 squared, it means 3 times 3. So, kaya siya naging 9. So, as you can see, easier lang siya if you will use these 3 steps. So, let's have another example. But if we have x plus 4, if we'll use it mentally, it is easier for us to solve this one. Because this last term, we will have to make it multiplied by 2. So, 4 times 2, 8. And if we square this one, it becomes 16, right? So we will just use this step. Now, we have here x squared plus 2 times 4x plus 4 squared is equal to x squared plus 8x plus 16. So ito yung dapat yung i-remember. So if we have square of binomials, just square the x squared, and multiply the last term by 2. That's why it becomes 8x, and square the last term. That's why it becomes 16 as our last term. So, remember this step, and sa yun lang dito siya isolve ang square of binomial. Okay? So, now let's have this example. As you can observe, we have x minus 6 squared. So, what's the difference of our previous given is we have the addition as our operation, but this time we have subtraction. So, the same lang din siya. We will follow these 3 steps, but remember the sign. So, if we have the solution, x squared, so we have to square the first term. Now, we will find the product of these two terms. So 6 times x, we have 6x multiplied by 2. So, bakit siya negative or bakit siya subtraction? Because our operation is subtraction. So now, for our third step, square the second term of the binomial. So we have 6 squared. So bakit siya plus or bakit siya positive? So as you can remember, diba, third step, we have to square the second term of the binomial. So this one, if square natin si second term, and if we're going to expand this one, magiging negative 6 multiplied by negative 6, right? So, if you can still remember the rule of multiplying an integer, what you can observe, they have the same sign, which is negative. So, in multiplying an integer, ang rule niya, kapag same ang sign, negative 6 multiplied by negative 6, the result is always positive. That is why nagiging positive dito. Because in multiplying an integer, kapag same sign, we have to use the positive sign. That's why naging positive 6x squared. Now, if we will solve this one, so we have x squared. Now, 2 multiplied by 6x, we have negative 12x. And if we're going to square the 6, we have 36. So, this is how we solve the square of binomial if we have this operation subtraction. So, anong kaibahan nila sa addition And sa subtraction, yung nausab lang, yung naiba is yung dito sa middle term. So, kapag positive ni siya, positive po ni siya. Pero pag negative ni siya, ang tunga yun ani is negative. And the rest is positive. Okay? Now we will proceed the product of a sum and difference of two terms. Now, for the product of a sum and difference of two terms, we'll just remember this form and follow these steps. Now, first, we have to square the first term. So, this is our first term. If naatay given nga ing ani o form a plus b, a minus b, ang answer is in ani nga form a squared minus b squared. So, first, we have to square the first term of the binomial. So, it becomes a squared. Now, use subtraction as an operation or as our operation. So, minus a squared minus. In the third step, square the second term of the binomial. Ano yung second term natin? Si b. So, i-square doon natin siya. That's why it becomes b squared. So, kapag ano yung given, a plus b, a minus b, ang answer is in this form. So, ma'am, unsa man na si a plus b, a minus b. So, let's have an example. Find the product of 2x plus 3 multiplied by 2x minus 3. So in product of a sum and difference of two terms, so you can see this is the sum of two terms. We have 2x plus 3 and difference of two terms, we have here 2x minus 3. So ma-apply na to siya ng steps, kaning steps if ang given is in the form of sum, same sila. So, ang sum niya o ang difference is same lang siya. Ang kaibahan nila is ang ilahang sign. So, we can use these steps if the given is in the form of sum and difference of two terms. So, first, if we're going to solve this one, if we're going to find the product of this given, so, ano yung first term natin? We have C 2x, and our second term is C3. So, square the first term of the binomial. May square na to si 2x, maunsa na siya. So, it becomes 4x squared. Kasi, we use this, have 2x multiplied by 2x. So, mahimo na siyang 4x squared. Now, for our second step, use subtraction as our operation. That's why we use minus here. And now, for our second term, square do nato siya. So, 3 squared, himo siyang 9 because 3 pag squared, 3 times 9. So, mo na itong i-remember in solving or finding the product of sum and difference of two terms. Kapag makakita gani mo same ang number but different ang sign, ang always nato i-follow is or these steps. So we have to square the first term, use subtraction as an operation, and we have to square the second term. That's why if we have to find the product of 2x plus 3 multiplied by 2x minus 3, answer is 4x squared minus 9. Ano lang siya ka-simple. So, remember these steps. Now, let's have another example. So, find the product of x plus 7 multiplied by x minus 7. So, following the steps, we have to square the first term, which is x. So, we have x squared, and we'll use the subtraction as our operation. And we have to square the second term, which is 7. So, kung i-square si 7, mahimo siyang 49. So, ingana lang siya ka-simple. If we will have the sum and difference of two terms, we will just follow this step. First, square the first term, use subtraction, and square the second term. Okay? Now, we have this product of two binomials. So, meaning, pangitaon na to ang product sa duha ka binomial. So, if we have the product, if we are going to find the product of x plus 3 multiplied by x plus 2, what we have observed, different na siya ang number, right? we have x plus 3 and x plus 2. So in our previous example, in solving the square of binomials, sayon lang siya, kaya kung expand nato ang square of binomials, same lang gihapon siya nga binomial. But this time, the product of two binomials, paano nato ni siya i-solve? So we will use, balik naman tayo kay FOIL method. So in solving this product of two binomials using FOIL method, first, ano nga yung gagawin natin? We have f, which is the first term. Ano yung first term natin? Si x and si x, right? So sa first term natin, si x and si x as our first term. How about our outer term? Si x and si 2 yung outer term natin. Si inner term naman natin, si 3 and si x, ang ating inner term. And our last term, we have si 3 and si 2 as our last term. So, balik, x o si x is our first term. Si x and si 2 is our outer term. And 3 and si x is our inner term. And our last term is 3 and 2. So, using the FOIL method, we can solve these two binomials. So, let's start. Multiply now natin using ang FOIL method. So, x times x, we have x squared. Now, outer term, we have x times 2, we have 2x. Always remember nga mauna gyud ang number kaysa sa variable. So, balik ta. First, gawin natin ang first term. Multiply natin si x and si x. We have x squared. Now, we have to proceed sa atong outer term. So, plus, since plus man yung sila tanan. So, 2x. This is our outer term. Now, inner term, 3 times x. We have 3x. Next, our last term is 3 times 2. Pila man 3 times 2? We have 6. Now, what we have observed in our given or our example, ano na-observe natin? We have this, what we call similar terms or like terms. So, next natin gagawin is we have to combine like terms. So, si positive 2x, ada nato 3x, maunsa na siya? 2x plus 3x, we have 5x. That's why x squared plus 5x plus 6. So, in solving the product of two binomials, what we're going to do is use FOIL method, the first, outer, inner, and last method, and always find the combined like terms. Kung na-combine like terms, therefore, isolve nimo ang combined like terms. I-add ba nimo siya or i-subtract? So, after that, you have to simplify the answer. So, now, if we're going to find the product of x plus 3 times x plus 2, we have here x squared plus 5x. So, nga na ang pag-solve sa two binomials. So, we have here another example. So, product of two binomials. So, we have x minus 4 and x plus 2. So, as you can see, magkaiba na yung sign. We have minus and positive. But in solving these two binomials, we will still use FOIL method. First, outer, inner, and last method. So, we have to follow the first term. So, x times x, we have x squared. X times x, we have x squared. Now, our outer term, x multiplied by 2, we have 2x. Now, inner term, negative 4x times x, it becomes negative 4x. Bakit siya negative 4x, ma'am? So, rule natin sa multiplying integer having different signs. So, si 4, may sign siyang negative, right? Si x, positive. So, pag multiplication, pag lahi ganilang sign, the answer is always negative. So, for example, kani si negative 6, i-multiplied nato siya sa positive 2. Same ba silang sign? No, lahi silang sign. Si 6, negative. Si 2, positive. So, if going to multiply this one, ang result is always negative. So, negative 6 multiplied by 2, we have negative 12. So, remember, in multiplication, pag different sign, the answer is always negative. Pag same sign, the answer is always positive. Now, going back sa our example, we have now in inner terms. So, negative 4 multiplied by x, we have negative 4x. Now, negative 4 multiplied by negative 2. Anong nangyari? We have different sign, right? So, negative 4 multiplied by 2. Ano nga yun? Pag different sign, the result is always negative. Now, 4 times 2, we have 8. So, we have here negative 8. Now, what's the next step? Ano yung na-observe natin sa given? Ano nga yung next step? We have to combine like terms. So, we have same terms. Si 2x, positive 2x, at si negative 4x. So, since lahi man po sila sign, ma'am, paano man nato na siya isolve? So, since they have different signs, so we'll apply the addition and copy the sign of a number with greater absolute value. So, this one, sa itong given, si 2x, positive, si negative 4, ay si 4x, negative. So, 2x minus 4x, we have multiply, subtract natin siya. So, it becomes negative 2x. Nga negative 2x, ma'am? Kaya we will use this subtraction. Kay si 4, mas dako man siya kay 2. Pero, kung kanin siya 4, positive 4, and si 2 negative, atong i-follow nga sign kay positive. But in this example, ang itong dako man nga number or greatest absolute value is si 4. That's why we use the negative sign. So, balik ta, negative 4x plus 2x. The result is 2x. And anong sign atong i-copy? Negative, because 4 has greater absolute value than 2. That's why negative 2x. So, if we're going to simplify, they are combined like terms. So, naging x squared minus 2x minus 8. Okay, nasabtan? Now, we have the other type of special product, which is cube of a binomial. So, example, find the product of quantity of a plus b cube. So, cube, we're going to represent it by 3. Basta cube, 3. Basta square, 2. Okay? So, find the product of a plus b cube. So, first is we have to expand the product or the given. So, since cube man siya, katuluhon doon nato na siya expand. Pero pag squared, kaduhaon na. So, since ang atong given is in the form of cube, so a plus b cube, if we're going to expand that one, have a plus b multiplied by a plus b multiplied by a plus b. Now we have to solve the first and two binomials by FOIL method. So, after expanding, i-solve nato ning first binomial and second binomial through FOIL method. So, balik na po si FOIL method. So, useful yun si FOIL method if mag-solve ta og product of binomials. So, now, we have to use the FOIL method na giging a squared plus 2ab plus b squared. Ngano ganito? We're going to apply the 3 steps. We have to square the first term, multiply the two terms and their product multiplied by 2. That's why 2ab. And now we have to square the second term. That's why a squared plus 2ab plus b squared. Then, copy natin si a plus b. Tapos, what are we going to do now? Final answer na ba ni siya? No. We have to multiply it again by the a plus b. So, what we're going to do is we have to use distribute property. First, i-distribute na to ni si A, aning tanan nga given. Sunod si B, i-distribute na po nato na siya aning nga given. So, in what way, ma'am? So, may aning na siya, tagway. Si A, manis siya si A, since we're going to apply distributive property. So, A, gawasan na to si A, copy the given. Katong na-solve na sa FOIL method. Now, si B, plus, since positive man or plus, so use sign plus. Si B, and copy the given or the FOIL method nga na-solve. Now, so we have to distribute si A kay A squared. Unsa na siya? Si A times A squared, di ba? You can still remember, si A na ani siya yung 1. Dire, di ba? And pag we're going to use a multiplication, ang exponent ana nila, always nato siya i-add. So, naman ni siya yung 1 dire. 1 plus 2, the answer is 3. That's why nahimo siyang a cube. Now, si A naman, i-multiply natin, i-distribute na po nato siya sa middle term. What happened? So, 2ab times A, si A, duha na po siya. Therefore, nagiging 2a squared b. Now, A multiplied by b squared, nagiging ab squared. Plus, a squared, since we multiplied b kay a squared, so a squared plus a squared b. Now si b, i-distribute na to kay 2ab. Si b, tapos b na po, it becomes 2ab squared. Now si b, I multiply na to kay b squared, tulo na siya kay b. Therefore, it becomes b cubed. So, after solving the first two binomials using FOIL method, what we need to do is distribute the last binomial. So, A, distribute natin sa A squared plus 2ab plus b squared. And si B, distribute din natin siya sa A squared plus 2ab plus b squared. So, it becomes A cubed plus 2a squared b plus ab squared plus a squared b plus 2ab squared plus b cubed. So, final answer na ba ni siya? Do you think this is the final answer? Okay, what we're going to do next? So, first, we have to combine like terms. So, as you can see, merong mga terms dito na same. This one, we have the 2a squared b and a squared b. Same sila, right? They have a squared and b. So, same sila. And now we have also ab squared and 2ab squared. So, next is we have to add this term. So, a cubed 2a squared b plus a squared b becomes 3a squared b. And ab squared plus 2ab squared becomes 3ab squared. And copy si b cubed ug si a cubed. So, this is our final answer. Okay, so let's try another example. So, find the product of a minus b cubed. As what you have observed, negative naman siya. So, same process, we have to expand the given. And now, the first two binomials, this one is, we'll solve this using FOIL method. So, since same man silag sign, but the difference is negative ang ilahang sign, sa gani ang mausab lang sa ilahang sign, the middle term. So you can remember the square of binomial, pag negative, ang mausab na sign is ang middle term. That's why nagiging a squared minus 2ab plus b squared. And we have to copy the a minus b na nanapili. Now next, we have to use the distributive property. So, i-distribute na to si A sa kani, si B na po, i-distribute na to kay A squared minus 2AB plus B squared. Now, let's do the distribution. A cubed, A multiplied by negative 2AB, negative 2A squared B, A multiplied by positive B squared becomes plus AB squared. Now, negative b multiplied by a squared becomes a squared b. Negative b multiplied by 2ab. Okay. Remember, negative b, i-multiply siya kay negative 2ab. Ano nga ang mangyari pag we're going to multiply the same sign, it becomes positive. That's why 2ab squared. Kasi negative man si B, and negative din si 2AB. So, pag multiply nato siya kay same sign, it becomes 2AB squared. Now, negative B times positive B squared, different signs sila. What we're going to do now, since it's what I have said before, pag different sign, the answer is always negative. So, negative B multiplied by positive B squared, the answer is always negative ang sign B cubed. Okay? So, is this our final answer? Dili pa. So, next is we have to combine like terms. Ano yung mga terms na magkapareho? So, we have here negative 2a squared b and negative a cubed b. So, we have here plus yan sila ha. We are going to use plus. So, negative 2a squared b plus negative a squared b. And also, we have this ab squared plus 2ab squared. So, now, pag i-add ganit nato using the addition of integer kapag same ang sign, si 2, negative 2a squared b plus negative a squared b. So, ang buhaton nato is add nato siya and copy the sign. That's why si a cubed, copy nato si negative 2a squared b plus negative a squared b plus nato 3a squared b, copy the sign. Kasi same lang sila og sign. Same thing si ab squared plus 2ab squared. Since positive man ilang sign, you have to copy. And copy din natin si pq. So, ano yung difference nila sa given kanina? So, ito yung given natin kanina, right? A plus b cubed. The answer is a cubed plus 3a squared b plus 3ab squared plus b cubed. And yung last example natin is we have a minus b cubed. So, the answer is a cubed minus 3 squared b plus 3ab squared minus b cubed. Anong magkaiba nila? The sign on our dito, second term is negative and our last term, the sign is negative. So, if may given tayong ganito, a plus b cubed, the result is always positive yung mga sign. But if we have given a minus b cubed, always remember yung sign is different sa second term and last term. Okay, let's have an example. So, x minus 2. So, we have negative, right? So, first, we have to expand x minus 2, x minus 2, x minus 2. Multiply natin yung tatlo. So, we'll use FOIL method. So, x minus 2 times x minus 2, the result is x squared minus 4x plus 4. Copy natin sa x minus 2. We'll use distributive property. So, x times x squared. So, x times x squared times negative 4x. Si x naman natin, distribute natin kay 4. Si 2, i-distribute natin kay x squared. Si 2, i-distribute natin kay negative 4x. Si negative 2, distribute natin kay 4. So, x times x squared, it becomes x cubed. X times negative 4x, it becomes negative 4x. X times 4 becomes 4x. Now, negative 2 times x squared, it becomes negative 2x squared. Negative 2 times negative 4x, they have the same sign, becomes positive 8x. Now, negative 2 times 4 or positive 4, they have different sign, right? So, it becomes negative 8. So, final answer ba? Di pa. So, combine like terms. Now, negative 4x minus 2x squared. The result is negative 6x squared. So, add mo lang sila and copy the sign negative 4x plus 8x, we have 12x. And copy natin si 8, negative 8, and si x cubed. So, ingana ang pag-solve sa cube of a binomial. Now, another example. I find the product of x plus 5 cubed. Same process of the expanded given. Use FOIL method, it becomes x squared plus 10x plus 25, copy x plus 5. Now, using distributive property, so now we have to distribute. So, x times x squared. So, x times x squared, we have x cubed. X times 10x, we have 10x squared. X times 25, we have 25x. 5 times x squared, we have 5x squared. 5 times 10x, we have 50x. 5 times 25, we have 125. Now, combine like terms. So, 10x squared, 5x squared, and another one is 25x and 50x. So, our final answer, we have x cubed, 10x squared plus 15x squared. We have, 10x squared plus 5x squared. We have 15x squared. Now, 25x plus 50x, we have 75x, and copy 125. So, our final answer is x cubed plus 15x squared plus 75 plus 125. Okay, that's it. Now, for the last special product, we have the product of trinomial and a binomial. So now, we have this rule, a squared plus 2ab plus b squared multiplied by a minus b is equal to a cubed minus b cubed. And another rule, a squared minus 2ab plus b squared multiplied by a plus b is equal to a cubed plus b. So, observe natin, if this trinomial, ito si trinomial, meaning composed siya ng 3 terms. We have the first term, second term, and the last term. Kapag si trinomial all positive, and si binomial natin is, ang operation na ginamit is subtraction, the product is in a form of subtraction then. So, a cubed minus b cubed. Again, kapag si trinomial all positive and our binomial is in the form of subtraction, the result is a cubed minus b cubed. Now, in the second rule, kapag si trinomial, yung middle term niya is negative, and yung binomial niya is in the form of addition, so the product is a cubed plus b cubed. So again, kapag sa trinomial, sa second rule natin is yung middle term niya is negative and it multiplied by a binomial in a form of addition. So the result is a cubed plus b cubed. Okay, let's try an example. So find the product of x squared plus 10x plus 100 multiplied by x minus 10. So going back our rule, yung trinomial natin positive lahat, right? At si binomial is in a form of subtraction. So the product is, ano ngayon, nasa form din ng subtraction. So using the ruling, a squared plus 2ab plus b squared multiplied by a minus b is equal to a cubed minus b. So ito lang yung tandaan natin kapag positive yung trinomial at in the form yung subtraction yung binomial, the result is ganito talaga, a cubed minus b cubed. Now, let a, yung a natin si x, and si b natin si 10. So, in finding a and b, yung titingnan natin always is yung si binomial. So, in finding A and B, ano yung titingnan natin? Si binomial. That's why yung A natin si X and si B natin si 10. Now, given that using this rule, since we have this given x squared plus 10x plus 100 multiplied by x minus 10. So, diba, this is the form. So, that's why yung A natin, x. Yung B natin, si 10. So, pag i-cube natin sa x, nagiging x cube. At kapag i-cube natin si 10, nagiging 1,000. Ma'am, ano na 1,000 na, ma'am? Because 10 times 10 times 10. So, it becomes 1,000. Okay, maura na inyong i-remember. Kapag same gani ang sign sa atong trinomial, paglahi po ng sign sa atong binomial, follow na to ang result ng product is in a form of subtraction. And in finding A and B, let's always look the binomial. Now, let's have another example. So, find the product of x squared minus 6x plus 3x plus, I multiplied by x plus 6. So, what you have observed? So, yung trinomial natin, yung ano niya, middle term is negative, right? So, using the rule, so a squared minus 2ab plus b squared multiplied a plus b. So, yung product natin is in the form of addition. So, A and B natin, si A is x and si B is 6. Why? Because we're going to look the binomial. So, therefore, x squared minus 6x plus 3x multiplied by x plus 6. So, x to the power of 3 plus 6 to the power of 6. I know, x to the power of 3 plus 6 to the power of 3. So, the result is x cubed plus 216. Why? 6 times 6 times 6 is equal to 216. So, ano ato ang pag-solve sa atong product of a trinomial and binomial. So, nasabtan ba? So, if you have questions, you can post it in our Google Classroom. So, this is just a review. So, recap. So, we have the special products, right? So, first natin solve yung square of binomial. Next is product of the sum and difference of two terms. Third, product of two binomials. Third, we have cube of binomials. And lastly, we have the product of trinomial and binomial. So, if you want to review this video, rewatch lang natin. And yung sa quiz na i-upload ko, you can use this video as your reference. Same lang yung ibibigay kong quiz. So, I hope you learned something from this topic, special products. So, you have to master these special products because this is useful in our topic in grade 8, especially in our module 1 up to the next topics of our first quarter. So, familiarize these special products. So, that's all for today. Thank you for listening and God bless us all.